Yo, 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 we live on location, New York City. We in the building, NBA Draft Week. Always got the blackest one with me. Today we got a very, very, very special guest, former #1 overall pick, Garner, North Carolina's finest in the building. We got Mr. John Wall, man, multiple-time All-Star, multiple-time, big time. Appreciate you pulling up on us, player.
Show that, you know that.
Well, you know, the first question I want to ask you, when you first got to the league, who was the first person to bust your ass?
First person to bust my ass, Steve Nash. I had like a stretch. I had a stretch where I had D Rose, Rondo. Then I went to the West Coast. I had Russ, CP, and Steve Nash.
Ooh.
And this one, he got run the pick and roll. He always dribble around the baseline. He went 10 for 10 against me. I was like, there's no way in hell he cooking me like this. But yeah, that's the first one that gave me a welcome to the NBA moment for sure.
Did he hit his little signature layout fade?
Yeah, I was mad. I'm contesting. I'm chasing him. I was like, man, I don't even care about scoring right now. I just gotta get a stop.
In high school, you was considered probably a late bloomer, would you say? Like, how did they miss you, though?
10th grade, I was like 5'7", 5'8", but I was always nice. Like, I was averaging 40 at 13, 15, but my AAU team, I played for the Garner Bulldogs. David West had ran the program, but we never really traveled nationwide. And like, we'd go to nationals, and that was it. Then I transferred and went to D1 Sports. Brian Clifton ran the program. They had like Eric Wallace, Marsha Moses, Chris Turner, those guys before me. And I took an 18-hour drive from North Carolina to Chicago. They had like a Reebok underclassmen camp. And I had a mohawk. I came to the camp with a mohawk late, all that. And they only took the 5 best players out of that camp to go to Reebok U. They used to kind of be like the ABCD camp. They just changed the Reebok U in Philly. And I was one of the 5 to go there, and the rest was history. After that, I left that camp, #1 player in the country.
How did you not make the McDonald's game? Like, that's just crazy to me.
Well, they tried to say like I was a 5th-year senior, but I really was my right age. You know what I mean? I had skipped a grade when I was younger, so I just reclassed back to my right grade. But that was their excuse why I didn't make McDonald's. But I made every other All-Star game and won MVP, so.
Yeah.
And I didn't win Mr. Basketball in North Carolina my year neither.
Yeah. When did it turn over that you felt like you was naturally, like outside the camp, you was naturally like, yeah, I'm one of the guys that's one of the best players nationally, not just the state?
I always knew, I always used to watch like Scott.com, Rivals.com, Max Prep and all that. I was like, if I get the opportunity to play against these guys, I know I can compete against them. So when I got the opportunity, I did it. But after the camp, you go to Vegas for the Reebok Summer Champion. And I was averaging like 25, so that just kept my buzz going into my next year.
Who would you say was like one of the, when you said, if you see any of these guys, did you get to play against any of the top guys? Like,
yeah, like I looked at Brandon Jennings, you know what I mean? Like I seen him when he was on SoCal All-Stars with Taylor King, Chase Budinger, Kevin Love, Malik Story, Ronaldo Sidney. I seen him come play in the Bob Gibbons, and I'm like, damn, he nice. So I'm watching guys like him, Abdul Gaddy, Dexter Strickland,
right.
I mean, Isaiah Thomas, all those type of guys. So I just knew I could compete against the best, and I got a different type of dog, and I wasn't backing down from nobody.
Your speed, like, you got some, like, you fast as hell. Like, when did you control it? Because, like, when I first seen you, I told my home, I said, man, I think he a little out of control. And he was like, nah, you got to watch him. Then I started really just paying attention and watching you. It's like you control your speed like none other. Like, when you start controlling it like that?
I think I always controlled it, but the one thing I did learn is a change of pace. It made me even more faster, because I used to always play at one speed. But then I get a rebound, I'd be acting like I'm coasting, and I just burst to another gear that nobody else have. So I probably think like my 3rd, 4th year, just talking to my assistant coach, Sam Cassell. I remember my rookie year, I'm pushing the ball, and I'm like, bro, nobody catching up with me, like nobody running. He's like, they can't keep up. Like, you gotta slow down a little bit.
Bro.
Yeah, so like I started to slow down a little bit and pick my spots, and the game just came so much easier for me. Cause like now, when teams is loading up, I'm kicking out to my shooters, and now they making shots. Now you can't load up, now I'm getting easier layups. So it's a lot of time to transition. I can score almost every time I get fouled. Like, I feel like nobody can stop me if it's 1-on-2, 1-on-3. But trusting my teammates, letting them guys make a couple of shots made the game so much easier for me.
Straight up.
You said you was 5'7". At what point did you hit the growth spurt, and what was the growth spurt?
So it was funny, because I was like summer, and I was like, man, I'm just gonna sleep till like 1 o'clock every day, like hopefully I grow. And then one day I just grew, and I was like 6'1". And my best friend at the time was like, damn, bro, like I need to start sleeping more. I'm like, it might work. But he's always like 5'9", 5'10". He never grew since like 8th grade.
Could it have been anybody else but Kentucky?
Wherever Coach Calipari, John Calipari is coaching at. Like, it's a funny story. I'm watching D. Rose play. I seen D. Rose play one time when they played Oak Hill on TV when he was at Simeon High School.
Simeon again.
And,
Okay, against BJ now.
Yeah, that's when BJ was undefeated.
Yeah.
They play Oklahoma in the Garden. And I'm like, damn, D. Rose is nice. Like, he played like me. So I was like, all right, that's the school I'm going to. Like, in my mind, since that day forward, that's the school I wanted to go to. But being a kid from Raleigh, North Carolina, like, not expecting to be on this platform, to be one of the best players in the country, to even go #1, I was like, I'm gonna weigh all my options. I'm gonna take all the visits. You know what I mean? You wanna go see all the schools, get the gear, see how campus is, but I knew where I wanted to go. So when he made the decision to go to Kentucky, it was easy for me. You know what I mean? Look, Kentucky got their history of basketball. I had already took a visit there when Billy Gillespie was the coach. I took a visit there and seen the campus, so I already knew what their tradition was. So when he made the jump, I was like, it's easier for me.
Yeah.
After the All-American games and stuff like that, when you got to campus at Kentucky, how did you feel like in the first, you know how when you get to school, you play pickup, you play with the guys, like, how did you feel when you got there? Did you feel like you was about to have the type of season you was about to have?
Yeah, I was never worried about that. To be honest, like, I wasn't never worried about that. As long as you give me the basketball and I believe in my ability. I think a couple people from back home was like, oh, he ain't gonna do nothing. He gonna do 2, 3 years, 4 years. And I'm like, my mindset is, I know I'm probably be one and done. I just want to win a championship. But competing against Eric Bledsoe every day made me get to another level, you know what I mean? Because he was just as good. And that's somebody that was a late bloomer. Like, he never was talked about. And I remember when he committed to Kentucky, everybody was like, they was like, oh, John Wall might go there. He was like, I don't give a damn. Like, shit, I'm going too. And Coach Kyle had told me the story that E. Bled coach asked him, like, how you gonna play ball for him? He said, my best, you play your best 2 players at any time. So we went out there and competed every day. Like, we never was on the same team really in practice until the season got going. So all I had to do was get stronger. I went into college like 165 though, like soaking wet. So I gained like 30 pounds. I ain't missed like no summer lifts or nothing.
Yeah.
I knew I had to put some weight on to play against grown men. But I've been playing against grown men my whole life, so it was easy to me.
Yeah. How was it to play with that much talent though? Like, I had a squad. Like,
Yeah.
squad.
My high school team was loaded too though. Like, I had Desmond Wells, Bishop Daniels, CJ Leslie. Like, I had a nice high school team too, but like Kentucky, I'm playing like with arguably the best big man in the country, DeMarcus Cousin. Patrick Patterson, one of the best college players coming back. You had Darius Miller that when the lights came on, he was a different type of person. So we had a great team. It was just, I think, some of those guys had played for Billy Gillespie before, so they didn't understand Coach Cal's mindset and pedigree of how he wanted to play. So for us to go 35-3, we wanted to win the whole championship, but they were still kind of under Billy Gillespie ropes. So like, do I be aggressive? Do I not play our game? And then you look at the next year, they kind of got to where they wanted to.
How did you feel when I heard Biggie Cousy say this, that you taught him how to be a pro? Like, even though you learning it on the fly yourself, did that feel good to just know that you was carrying yourself a certain way, to be a #1 pick, to be who you was?
I just give all the testimony to my mom. You know what I mean? Like, what she instilled in me, she said, always be known as a better person than a better basketball player. And that's something I always believed in. Like, I know I'm dope at basketball. I got a lot of respect throughout the league and throughout my fans and peers. But what I do for myself or carry myself how I do, that's what I believe it for. But I met Boogie at 13. It was funny. We was playing against each other in nationals, and we became close. And then he was like, maybe we want to go to college together. And I was like, all right, I'll think about it. You know, he was committed to UAB. I'm like, bro, I'm not coming to Alabama. Like, I'm not going there. So funny story, he committed to Kentucky. And I called him and was like, man, I'm about to commit to Duke. And I hung up, I didn't answer the phone. Yeah. And he kept calling me, and I was like, bro, I'm just messing with you, bro. But that's like my brother, like me, him, and E. Bled, we got tattoos, 3-8 for life, 3 amigos. But yeah, bro, it was so real to understand and see that, because just what my mom taught me and raised, and just being around certain situations, I knew how to carry myself. And it was difficult though going to college, because now you're a rock star. Like, you're playing in front of 24,000 people. You can't walk to class. Every time you turn around, somebody want autographs. Like, this whole area right here be full of cars. Yeah. From the lodge, like our lodge would be over there. We practice here. This whole street full of cars. Yeah. It's like, do you want to sign these autographs? I'm just trying to go to class. It's like negative degrees. I got 3 sweatsuits on walking to class. Like, I'm trying to skip past that.
When and how did the John Wall dance originate?
Man, for one, like, I really, like, growing up, I used to never dance in front of people, like, shy.
Yeah. Right.
And then we go to Midnight Madness, you know, like Dougie, like we all Dougie and dancing. And DeMarcus was supposed to be the one to dance. But Cal told us, like, he was scared of heights. I don't supposed to tell y'all, but he's scared of heights. But we got on the little jumper trying to go all the way up, and Cal like, nobody dance, just stand up there. And they dropped the song, and I just had my earpods in, and I just checked out. Then it went viral.
In the league, did you say before they announced you the starting lineup, they was like, man, I'm finna Dougie all the way down?
Nah, bro. Like Gil said I wouldn't do it. Gilbert Arenas,
that might have been your hardest one ever.
Gilbert Arenas said I wouldn't.
Extended version.
Gilbert Arenas said I wouldn't dance.
Yeah.
So you know he gave me a little friendly wager bet, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it.
Bro, I never listen. When I saw that, I was like, bro. I think I might even send it to D right, like, bro, we dancers out here. Like, boy, he is going crazy.
Yeah, I started to come out my shell a little bit, so it went wild after that.
No, did you have to work out? How many workouts you had?
I worked out for the Wizards. I had like a 30-minute workout.
And ate dinner.
Yeah, I was cool after that, yeah.
Yeah.
I think they was trying to set up a dinner, a workout with me and Evan Turner. Like I guess they was trying to decide. In my mind, I'm like, it was a no-brainer to me, but they wanted to decide, but I think he didn't show up to the workout, so it was written after that.
Yeah.
So
how was the
liking
draft
that
for you?
shit.
Like, the experience of the draft. I know we watch the draft every year and see guys draft. How was the draft for you and seeing your family and moms and everybody get a chance to experience that?
For me, like I said, bro, being a skinny kid in Raleigh, North Carolina, like I lost my dad at 9, you know what I mean? So I see my mom sacrifice working 3-4 jobs and sometimes not pay the light bill for me to go play AAU tournament.
Yeah.
Not knowing I might not make it that far, you know what I mean? Just taking a risk of whatever's making me happy to play the game. So that was all a dream come true for me. Like, it's my mom's birthday week, June 21st, always her birthday, so that was around the draft time. She got to pick my suit out. It was my family first time really coming to New York. Like, only time I ever been in New York before then was playing in Elite 24 at Rucker Park. So to have my family here to get to experience the whole city of New York, and shit, your name go #1, like, you get no better than that. So like, seeing my mom cry, I still say the video when she was doing like an interview afterwards, like she hate doing interviews.
Right.
And they talking to her and they was like, how do you feel your son just got an opportunity to change their family lives? She just break down crying. So I record the video and be laughing, but that's all I do it for, man. Like now for me to still be able to want to continue to play in the NBA and just be a great father and be a person in this world. I have 2 boys that's 5 and 4, so now I'm just trying to teach them the pedigree of whatever they want to be in life. You can do it. If you sign up for it, ain't no getting out of it.
Yeah.
How was it for you? Like, you just got picked #1, you know what I'm saying? The day before, you signed a crazy deal with Reebok. Like, in that moment when you shaking, it was David Stern.
Yeah,
for you,
David
right?
Stern.
David Stern's hand, like, that's what all of us, you know, as hoopers, we done watched that repeatedly all the way up until it's our time to do it. Like, in that moment, like, what was you thinking? Like, as you shaking his hand, you looking out there, you know, every person that ever knew you seeing this and watching you, like, what did that feel like?
I said it was fake. Thought I was dreaming, because like I never thought I'd shake David Stern's hand. And then on top of that, to go #1, I'm like, I'm the first guy off the board. But I'm about to be the last one to leave, though. I'm here for 8 hours doing mad interviews. And like you said, piggyback on like signing with Reebok, it was a blessing because, you know, everybody grew up, you know, you want to wear certain shoes and certain deals. And I remember going to the headquarters, and my favorite player, the reason why I fell in love with the game was Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
He down there at the end of the meeting. It was like,
so
it was like, y'all messed me up already. Like, yeah, he was at the end of the meeting. It was like,
Bubba Chuck.
I wanted to wear this, but I wanted to build my own culture. I wanted to build my own legacy, build my own history. And I'm like, shit, I want to do the same thing. So that was another stepping stone that got me over the hump of signing with him.
I didn't know that. That's a bar. They brought Bubba Chuck in the room.
Chuck in that joint. So after you get drafted and you go to D.C., and you got Gilbert Arenas there, you got, you know, different guys there. How was that, like, playing in your first game and kind of start getting your feet wet? Because this is a whole nother level now. They say this is the best of the best level to kind of test yourself.
Well, my first game was against Dwight Howard, so I was like, this is some bullshit. Because I was like, at the time, I didn't have to really shoot jump shots, none of that before my career. I'm always getting to the basket. Like, this is the prime Dwight Howard, like MVP, defensive player of the year. So I'm like, damn, how I'm gonna score down there? Like, he going to block shots at the top of the backboard. So it was dope just trying to figure it out and going against Jameer Nelson. I think like my third game when I played in Atlanta, that's when I kind of got my feet wet. Like I started to feel my rhythm and know what I want to do. And I come home and have my first home game where I danced, and I almost had like a quadruple double that game. So I think I had 9 steals, like 20-something points, like 11 assists, 8 rebounds. That's when I knew like I belonged in the NBA and I had a chance to be special. But shout out to Gil, man, because he even said something recently, like on his podcast, like I made him fall back in love with the game of basketball when I had called him and asked him, like, how can I get better? And I didn't know like he wasn't watching the game. So right then and there when everybody else found out, that's when I found out. But for him to go through what he went through and then to come there and be a vet for me, like, you know what I mean, the city was his at that time. And then go what he went through and then come in there and like mentor me, he didn't have to do that. And it was dope for me because I told him when I walked in there, I seen him at my press conference, I was like, man, I looked up to you.
Yeah.
And he walked in and he was like, man, his villain mode was like, I'm coming in to like compete against this guy and try to get my spot back. But he took the back seat, was a great vet to me and somebody I still look up to and I could call a brother. So it was dope to be around those guys. Kurt Hine was another great vet I had. I had Mo Evans at the time.
Captain Kurt.
Yeah, Captain Kurt was dope, man. He was a great vet. Like, I'm asking him questions. I got to meet a lot of other great vets on my team, like Trevor Reeves and Al Harrington, Drew Gooden, Andre Miller, Nene, Gortai, just playing with those guys and just picking their brains about how the league go. And most of the time, early on, you lose a lot when you're on a bad team. I mean, when you get drafted high. And I remember we lost like our first 29 road games. Like every time we won a road, it was like L, L, L. So I'm like, how do you, like I'm asking them after games, like, do you get used to this or like how do you continue to work through this process? Because I never lost that many games in my life.
Never lost in your life like that. Yeah,
so it's like, I lost 3 games the year before that. So I'm like, how do I figure it out? Like, do I continue to go in the gym and put the work in when days are not going for you, winning or losing? It was like, just stick with the grind and all to pay itself out.
You won MVP of the Summer League, you won MVP of the rookie game, and then Blake Griffin get Rookie of the Year. And this is my thing.
Oh,
I wasn't in that race, but like for me, I feel like that anybody, I don't care which year you want to look at, Ben Simmons, whoever you want to look at, when those guys get hurt and then they get to restart that next year, they got the upper hand on that whole class because they know what it is to be a pro. They've been through the whole season. Even though they haven't played or whatever, they know the travel, they know different things that the regular rookies are getting hit with that doesn't make them really a rookie. And this ain't, me calling anybody person. I love Blake, I love all of the guys there, but I'm just saying I feel like it's an unfair advantage for those guys. I feel you. It's messed up they lost their rookie year, but to me they still not rookies to be able to get it over the next guy.
I just say you got to treat it the same as like I think like a lot of people might say if Embiid don't get hurt this year, well, he's the MVP, right?
Right.
He was the front runner, so like he don't get to get that award back next year unless he go out and produce. And like you said, injuries are part of the game. It sucks, but if you already been there 1 year and know the game, get the treatment, getting the lifts, like you shouldn't be a rookie the next year.
No, so
I was mad because I would have got my bonus. That's another trophy I would have had in the house. And I remember I had just had a sprained my Liz Frank injury in Chicago.
Right.
And I go in the locker room after the game and turn on ESPN. This is when Blake started the crazy dunk against the Knicks. And I was like, yeah, I lost Rookie of the Year. When I seen that, I said, Rookie of the Year over with. He had like 3 major dunks that game. Gallinari dunked on Mozgov one time. I said, yeah, Rookie of the Year gone. I kissed that trophy goodbye.
Off them highlights alone.
Bro, I got hurt that game and watched the highlights. I said, yeah, it's over with. It was nothing else.
We all, when we get to the league, we wanna win MVPs, we wanna win all the awards, we wanna make All-Star games. When you first heard that you made the All-Star game, what was that feeling for you?
Dope, man. 'Cause like now you feel like you're one of the best players in the league. Like the work you put in to get through the process you went through, it all started to come together. And then we started to win a little bit, you know what I mean? And I said if I get to make the All-Star game, I do the dunk contest, so I did a dunk contest. But I wasn't gonna do it no more though. But I did it, got my win, and I was cool with it. But just to be known and be in that locker room, bro, like you've been with the greats, bro. Like
with the best in the league.
I mean, you got LeBron in there, you know what I mean? You got Steph in there at the time, you got James Harden, you got Russell Westbrook, KD. I'm like, damn, I'm one of those guys that fit in this role with them. So it was dope. Joe Johnson was an all-star at that time, so it was special to be there.
But I want to salute you as one of the, you was a young star. Because everybody ain't doing it right now. I be wanting to see all of these boys, Zion, Ja, everybody in dunk contest. I salute you for being one of them dudes that went out there like whatever. It ain't about, is somebody gonna talk bad? I don't know what the reason for nobody not doing it. But I salute you for being the top overall pick and being one of the superstar young boys like a Kobe, like those guys before you that came in there and you put on. And you won it, but even the fact that you just did it, because people, to me, it seemed like for whatever reason, they don't want to put themselves out there. Like some of our youngest, best superstars, the Anthony Edwards, the Zions, the John Morant. I want to see y'all in the dunk contest.
Yeah, you know, like how everybody be like, is the All-Star game going to get back to what it's going to be or the weekend going to be? Like you said, those stars got to be in those events.
Show up.
But that's what everybody want to see. And I was like, I told the NBA, if I make one All-Star game, I'll be in the first dunk contest. I ain't going to do it multiple times, but I'll at least do it one time. And once I got the nod, I went and did it, so it was cool.
Who instilled the importance of court vision and passing to you? Because your court vision, your pass, who instilled that in you to look, you see the play ahead of time?
Yeah, like, I always tell people the person guarding me, I don't worry about him. I don't worry about where the help side coming from. So I'm already reading reads and plays before anybody can even imagine it. That's just where my mind be at. But I don't know, bro. I just like always my whole life, I always been a scorer. And I really never had to pass because my teams needed me to score. Yeah. Then I evolved into like, okay, now guys are double teaming me. I'm making the right reads, just making the right play.
Yeah.
So it just became easy. But some of my passes, like some people can't make, like Bron can make it. He's 6'8", I'm 6'4". I'm not supposed to be able to make some of the passes I make, but I don't really work on it, just be instincts.
Instincts.
Yeah, like some of my moves I make are just instincts.
When I watch you play, like you so fast, like it just seemed like you feel it. It's like you play like you just feel the game. I feel it.
I'm just going with the flow.
Yeah.
Like that's the same way I approach life. Like just going with the flow. Like I'm never pressing too much about anything. Never going into anything with so many expectations. I just go with the flow, and if I know I give everything I got, the best results gonna come out of it.
Yo, offhand, when did you get the confidence to dunk on folks with your left?
All right, bro. I never could jump off my left foot. I don't know why. But I'm ambidextrous though. Like I shoot pool left-handed, I bowl left-handed. So I went to dunk in like 11th grade one day off my left foot and got hung bad. So the next day I jumped off my right foot and it was easy, like flush. And I'm like, all right, now I'm dunking off my right foot.
Ladies and gentlemen.
One of my favorite highlights from you was the behind the back in
Atlanta.
And that's one.
I think that's my best highlight of my career for sure. Only one other player probably do like me is like Drew Holiday. Like he dunks with his left, but he plays right-handed.
Yeah.
Like
Boozer used to do that.
Yeah.
Like, Boozer was right-handed, but every time he dunked with his left.
But his guards, it's like nobody expected, so like we catch him off guard a lot like that. I don't know, it's just like I try to jump on my left foot, it just was never there for real.
But explain that highlight I just said, the Atlanta highlight.
All right, for one, I'm mad because I told my team, I was like, the role players always play better at home. You know how I go in the playoffs. Yeah. So I'm like, they gonna come out, they role players gonna make shots that they will not make in DC. Withstand their first punch. Like, don't get too rattled. And I'm mad because they on the barrage. And you hear the commentator, oh, they on the Hawks is on the barrage, another three. And I just take two dribbles and I see Dennis Schroeder go for a steal and I just instincts behind the back. And I was gonna lay the ball up, but Ken Bazemore was like trying to block it. And I was like, all right, now you gotta be on the poster.
Oh, man.
That's just how that went.
Highlights right there. The Wizards lost 6 years in a row. To see, when you lose guys, they don't want to come out no more how they used to and so forth on. When you seen the city make the playoffs and how the city changed and how they was like, yeah, we making playoffs every year and they were so confident in change. How was that to see the city change into a contender?
From being there from 2010 and seeing where it progressed, the city always showed love, bro. Like they treated me like it was home for me. You know what I mean? And to this day, like I still get to love me. My pops is from there, so it was a blessing to be that close to home. My family in North Carolina, it's a 4-hour drive. So it was amazing. My family, like sometimes they'll pull up to my house, I'm like, whoa. I ain't tell nobody to come today. Like y'all just, but they already there. But like the way the city was, they love sports, but they love their sports. So they gonna tell you when you walking around like, hey, get y'all shit together, y'all trash. Like they gonna be honest, but to see it transform and get to the playoffs, it was the best feeling ever, bro. Like, it was lit. Like, that city was lit. I still watch videos from time to time just to know that environment and to be in that space. But like you said, anybody that's like a sport town, they want to see you win. They want to see you succeed. And they showed all the love and respect from day one.
How was it for me? Obviously, when we going through it and we heading toward it, like you in that last year, you could predict and everything. How was it from like imagining and like, man, I'm about to get the max. I better get the max to like inking that max, like signing your name on that paper, and then it's like, bruh, I'm straight forever.
Yeah. Well, the first max, I was like, you know what I mean?
Exactly, the
'Cause,
first
like,
one.
yeah, the first one, they was like, we debating if we want to give it to you or not. Like, we got to see you win because we wasn't making the playoffs yet. When I signed, I'm like, all right, bet. Now I feel like I'm in the NBA. You know, the first 4 years, a lot of guys in NBA career be short after their rookie deal.
Yeah.
They don't play no more. So I didn't have a house or nothing. I didn't buy my first house until after I signed that first max. And then I feel like I should have made more All-NBA teams. I only made one for averaging 20 and 10 for a lot of years. But when I made that second max, that's when I'm like, my kids is straight now. I can really like just sit back and relax. Because your first max, you kind of like take care of your family, take care of your mom, make sure things straight.
So tell me, like, when you approaching that second match, because like you say, the second match was, the first one 80, the second one 170. Like, when you get that 170, what was that sigh of relief and then your thought process? Like, okay, now, like you said, your kids, like, what was that all like?
I felt like I was coming into being a superstar. Like, going into that role of coming into a superstar, you know. Sad thing, injuries happen is a part of the game, but I feel like I was the second best player in the East that year after Bron. I mean, I was on my way, we was hooping, we was balling. And you solidify yourself, man. You know what I mean? Like, when you get to that second max or even third max, you feel like you made it. Like, I'm one of those guys people talk about on the regular. So it was dope to get to that platform. Then I had my whole family come. Like, my first max, I just signed it. When I signed that second one, my whole family there. I'm talking about all the way to my nieces and nephews was there taking pictures. So it was a blessing.
That's dope.
I done seen you a couple of times in the Lou with Bradley, man. Just tell us about the relationship and the bond y'all had to be one of the best backcourts, or they considered y'all one of the best backcourts in the league at the time. Just the bond, you know, my Lou brother.
Yeah, I've been to Lou plenty of times, man. Like, y'all got so much talent there, you know what I mean? I've known Brad since, like, AAU days, watching him play. And I remember they like, yo, we were trying to decide they're going to draft Brad. And I'm like, it's a no-brainer. Like, you got to draft him. I need a sharpshooter like that to be next to me. And to watch him develop and grow, to become a way better player. First, he was just a catch-and-shoot guy, run off pin downs, to get in his bag, get his own ISO. That's my brother, bro. Like, a lot of people want us to, it's kind of like the Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown situation right now. Like, for years, they try to compare us, like, they can't play together. He take away from his game, take away from that game. It was nothing like that. Every time he didn't make All-Star when I think he should, I was pushing for him to get into the All-Star game because I think he deserved it. Yeah. And he got to that spot on his own. I seen him have his family, have his 3 boys he have. We still brothers, bro. Like, I talk to him all the time. I give him support, but like, it's always like, people always want to give up on the backcourt. Like, imagine people would have gave up on Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown after the finals they lost the first time. They come over that hump, and then they go win a championship. And now you got people saying, oh, is Tatum gonna be bad? He didn't win Finals MVP. Right. Like, they trying to start a narrative there. It's always gonna be something to keep it in. So as long as your brotherhood is inside the locker room and what y'all got as a foundation, the outside noise of the media and the negativity should never get into that.
Yeah. Neither of us got a chance to do it. You played 10 years for one franchise, you know what I'm saying? Like, tell me the appreciation and how much you know what I'm saying, look back and look over that time. Like, that was special, because we don't all recognize it at the same, you know, at the time when we trying to do whatever we trying to do, we in the moment. We trying to do what we think is best for us in our career right there and this and that. Like, looking back, how special was that for you to have 10 seasons in D.C. and then, you know, you the franchise leader and assist steals. You did a lot of things there.
Yeah, I would have broke all them records.
That's what I'm saying. They can't never get forgotten.
I would have broke all them records except for probably rebounds and blocks, though, I feel. But for me, bro, like I said, from day one, like, the community adapted to me, bro. Like, I adapted to the community because I know, like, a lot of those places, Section 8, Ward 8, I know, like, where they come from, so I can adapt to them. And like I said, the fan base adapted to me and adapted me from a 19-year-old kid with no face hair, no tattoos, no kids, to see me raise up there, have face hair, have had tats, have kids. But you just gotta give shout out to the owner, Ted Leonce, you know what I mean, for giving me the opportunity to even get drafted there, to play there, to give me the opportunity to get a max, to even stay there. And then to me putting the work in with my trainers every day, having a great team around me, challenging me when I'm wrong and telling me yes and no. Some people don't have those type of people around. And giving me another max to stay there. And my ultimate goal was to play for the organization for my whole career. But things happen, you know, it's a part of the business, things happen. But it's amazing, bro. Like, there's nothing else you could ever say. I even got the jersey tatted on me, so it's a legacy to me.
You just said it twice in that. Like, speaking on tats, you said you came in with 0 tats. Like, you are one of the most inked up, tatted up dudes, known for not having hardly no space left. Tell me when and how your tattoo journey started from you coming into the league, literally 0 tats.
I always wanted them.
Now no space.
I always wanted them. I just didn't want the hood tats where you got to get them recovered
You
up.
wanted to wait till you had
I wanted to wait till I
get
found
the right,
somebody dope,
nice
get the
stuff.
right person. I got the money to pay for them. And, like, my tats are my journey. It's my life. It's my journey. It's a story.
Yeah.
So everything I like, the TV shows of Kim Possible and all this, and
everything means something.
All that means something to me. So I waited till I could put my story together the way I wanted to.
And what's your take now? Like I know you see just like we see guys on the internet getting put to sleep to get tats. What do you think of that whole process?
I ain't
when
going
you,
to sleep.
A dude who got everything tatted, you ain't never went to sleep.
You cheated the game. Like I'm not going to sleep though.
That microwave generation, they want it right away.
It's funny because I just worked out with Busy Bones in Miami. He got went to
Bones
sleep.
Highland, yeah, I seen
and I
him.
asked him, he was like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro, for like 2 days I feel like I couldn't move, my back was on fire. I'm like, bro, you got 7 people tagging you at one time. Like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. You don't know if they pressing too hard or like what.
You don't know nothing. You
just wake up.
He basically in surgery.
I know he wake
That's
up
what
in pain though.
You in surgery.
Yeah.
So you wake up after surgery where they give you painkiller, they take the medicine, so I don't know how much you can take after that.
That's crazy. So tell me this. Obviously, we know you ended up leaving the Wizards and going to the Rockets. How was that, like, when you found out ultimately, like, the deal is done, I'm leaving, I'm, like, after everything is going on, like, I'm leaving, I'm going here and no longer going to be a Wizard. How did that feel for you?
Oh, it was devastating. It was hurt. It hurt. I'm in Houston probably, and it's COVID at the time. So I'm just sitting in my apartment the whole time, really thinking, like, damn, I'm really not in D.C. no more, like. And I was packing my bag to go to training camp. The next day was training camp.
Right.
And I get the call, I said, 7:30, get a text, please call, capital letters. I said, shit, I'm traded. Like, you get a text, please call, capital letters, and then come across the ticker, you've been traded. So, like, my team is, like, a couple of my guys with me and my sister with me. I'm like, damn, this shit really happened. So they like, tomorrow, we sitting in the PJ at 12 o'clock, get your ass on the flight. And go to Houston, stay in the hotel for like a week, then we got a training camp, then we go on the road, trying to find an apartment to stay in there. Like, I'm used to being in my house, you know what I mean? So it was difficult, it was tough. My son was born at the time. So I'm like, do I leave him in Miami while I stay in the summer, or do I bring him to Houston? Like, I didn't want to keep moving around because I don't know how long I was gonna be there. Like, I was hoping to stay there a long time and sign an extension, but they had other plans and went another route to try to rebuild and get some young talent, which they got now. But I still think about it to this day, but I got past that mindset of it.
Can you speak on, like, because, you know, you see D Rose and I had knee problems. People don't understand, like, how hard mentally it is to sit here and go to a gym every day and put in the work to try to get back and play. Can you speak on, like...
It's tough, man. Like, it's always like, you got good days, you got bad days. And some days you like, man, I feel good, I'm gonna be back to myself. Turn around the next day, you be like, damn, I ain't gonna be myself again. You know what I mean? Like, I had those problems. I had a bone spur in my Achilles that I really took out to fix it. And almost had to cut my foot off. I had 3 infections. So
I had an infection in my knee.
Yeah, so I had 3 infections. So I know what it's like. And to come back off injury and what I did in Houston, to average 21 and 7, that was spectacular to me because I would say all the work I put in is paying off. But my mindset is when I step between these 4 lines, whatever injury I had, I don't think about it. Because if you think about it a lot, you're never going to get back to yourself, and then you end up re-injuring yourself for trying to compensate.
Yeah, that fucked me up.
It's tough, though.
I went to Chicago and got my surgery. Everything was fine. I flew to St. Louis and seen my family, and then I flew back to Portland like a couple of days later. And when I got to Portland, I just had a fever. So I'm like, damn, I'm feeling sick. So I went to the doctor, come to find out I got an infection in my knee. We got to go right back to surgery. And I just had surgery like 4 or 5 days ago.
How many times you flew in 2 weeks after surgery? Like 3 times?
I actually only flew once.
Once?
Like, I had the surgery in Chicago. I caught a limo down to St. Louis. And then when I was in St. Louis, I was feeling the fever down there. And when I got to Portland, went to see the doctor, and the doctor was like, yeah, you got an infection.
Now you set back another 4 or 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Now your timetable might have been 4 months. Now it's 6 to 8 months. Now
you
already like,
go
damn.
right back up in there and get that cleaned out. It's just crazy, man, with these, and they don't really tell. And with the technology now these days, it's so much better, though. It's so much
These
different.
kids training all type of stuff at 5 years old.
They know how to protect your body a little bit more than they used to with us. So that's why I tip my hat off to, like, even you when you came back and fought, because I know it takes a lot mentally and physically to come back and play at that high level, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes you don't be the same person that you be, but your IQ is there.
Yeah. Yeah, you might not have the same athleticism and the same speed, but like, can you still run the game? Like, that's for me, that's where my IQ come in, that's where my point guard skills come in, where I can still push the pace, and I don't have to go get 20 and 10 every night, but I can get open shots for my teammates by pushing the pace, by running the pick and roll and finding the right guys. So, like you said, it's a mind game, though. Like, you got to be mentally strong for it, and it get tough at times.
This is the part of it that a lot of people, some young NBA players, the younger ones more so than the older ones, right? Because I saw this in my career. You in Houston, you've done everything you've done, and then you know what I'm saying, you who you are, you've established and accomplished what you accomplished, and now you had to battle back from injury. Like you said, you came back, you averaged 21 and 7. How difficult is it to listen to an organization or a team say, that's cool, but we want to develop this young guy and we want to go a different direction? When you sitting here and you know the game, and this is part of the whole, this is the business of it. This is when you, like, if you hadn't already learned, but this is when the business of the whole thing rears its ugly head. How tough and difficult is it to deal with when your whole life you've been in a position where I eat what I kill? If I go out here and I earn this, I get this. And this is a time where it's like, this don't matter. You don't eat what you kill. And these are the politics of, like, how hard, talk about how, and this is from, like, we can speak from it from our level, but you can speak from it from an all-NBA, max player, all-star type level.
I think that's something that, like, if I go back and do it again, I would do it a different way. But at that time, like you said, I'm too competitive, I'm a dog. Like, I know, like, if you're telling me, but they told me, like, if we know you can win the spot, we're going to have the spot if we play you, but we don't want to go that route. And I'm like, damn, why? Like, we had an okay year last year, it wasn't bad. But that's where, like, my maturity come in now. Like, I can accept that and know, like, whatever role is going to, I can accept that. But at that time, you can't tell me going into a training camp, I'm going to line y'all two up and y'all compete. I feel like I'm going to outbeat everybody.
Right. Yeah.
Unless you got, like, an all-NBA player in front of me that's that guy,
right,
I feel like I can win that spot. So that was difficult to deal with, especially coming off injury. Then having a good year your first year back, and they don't really want you to play. And all I want to do is play. I just missed 2 years. So it was difficult, but that's something I matured and learned. And, like, from my mistakes of being in that position, I know how to handle it now. But at that time, no, I didn't.
I feel like even in dealing with it the way you did, like, maybe you say, like, you know better than me. Maybe you didn't handle it perfectly, but I still feel like you handled it better than a lot of people would in your position because you went quietly. Yeah. Whether it was, you know what I'm saying, like, to the public, it didn't come out like, oh, he tripping. Like, you sat, you was on the bench, you was in, you know what I'm saying, it looked like you was supporting your teammates and stuff, so it was like.
When I got to that point, I was like, my job is to mentor them now. You know what I mean? Like, be the vets like Gil and Kurt Howard was to me.
Right.
Be that to them. And they all was asking me questions like, bro, how I do this, how I do that. I'm telling them through the game, they coming to me on the sideline, like, I got the clipboard, like, what I should do right here, like, what pass you see, like, and they're begging them to play me. Like, they wanted to play with me because we were scrimmaging practice or play 1-on-1, 2-on-2. And they're like, he can help us. Like, we can win. And those young guys wanted to win, but they had to go through that process that I went through with having a vet, but you got to let them do their job. So it was difficult, but my job is I still talk to those young guys still to this day. Yeah. And any other young guys, like Bones, he come in, he ask me questions. Like, I just love the nature of the game.
Too,
he got a lot of game, and he's in a tough spot where he's not playing, like, but when he play, he shows what he's got. So I just try to give back every game, soak up all the game I got, and give it to the young guys no matter what. Like, I'm never going to be a guy that hate on them because it's their turn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we can't control what's going on. Like, y'all had y'all era, we got our era, and shit changing like this. It might revert back later, but I'm always going to soak the game and give it to the young guys.
You in this era is, oh, my God, bro. It'd be crazy out here, bro. You in this era, man. You want to still play in the league. I know them Phoenix Suns could have used you these playoffs, man. They needed a point guard. But you've been working out and so forth on. How is it to stay in shape and, you know what I'm saying, while the season's going on to make sure you get that call? If you get that call, you just to be ready.
Well, if you still want to play, it's definitely difficult. But I just put my mindset to, like, I still love the game, and then I still want to work, you know what I mean? Like, I still love putting the work in, and to the day I feel like I don't want to put the work in, that's when I give it up. But I know I can. I think the league missing a lot of vets. They can use a lot of vets to help a lot of young guys out. And I said it recently, like, I'm cool with any role. I'm cool to accept any role. I know I can help a team win. I know I can help a team play, but in my role is to come in and be Udonis Haslam role or just be a great vet and talk to the young guys and teach them, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I just know I feel like I still got an opportunity, but if my name or number is called, they know what they getting.
I sure wanted my Clippers to keep you, bro. I was rooting for you.
Yeah.
He talked heavy about that when
I
you
was
when you
pissed,
left.
man. I wanted my Clippers to keep
I'm
you.
gonna go out on a limb though. I think in the near future, it probably if I had to bet, I'm not a real like money bet man. I bet push-ups, but if I was a betting man, I would bet that in the near future, it probably will be like a Miami or Spurs that spearheaded. But I think it's gonna be a position created for like the vet role because nobody is gonna want to do. I mean, obviously not gonna wanna. Nobody wants to do what Miami did with UD.
Yep.
And every team, I feel like as young as the NBA is, I feel like every team needs a designated OG type to be able to spread some knowledge to these young fellas.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Teams don't want to use a roster spot clearly because UD was like the last of a dying breed. So I feel like it might be Miami that spearheaded and make that actually a position at some point, but I feel like in the near future, teams gonna have a position for like mentor or, you know what I'm saying, like an OG type situation where that's a spot, like as far as like player development, you know what I'm saying, whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be a role. I think it
every
should
team
be a role.
need
I
that.
think it should be for that guy who's transitioning, who's earned the trust of the organization and league by character and by the way he go about his business, to be that standard as the example for whoever those young guys is come, because the league is young. OGs is 24 and 25. Now you come in at 20 and 19, and your big homie ain't but 5 years older than you, and he ain't really a real vet, but he the vet to you because he been here longer than you. So it's like I really feel like that is gonna come, and it should come into effect at some point.
For sure.
If you had 4 other teammates that you play with in the league, that you can build your ultimate team with, who would be them other 4 teammates?
Like all my teammates I done played with?
Yeah, all the teammates you play with. If you had to build 4 more and plus you, what would that ultimate team look like?
Are they healthy? Like healthy?
Man,
healthy.
This is
Everybody
prime. This
healthy
prime.
at their best.
This the best
I'm
version
going
of
Dwight
them.
at center when he was in DC.
Okay.
I got to go Kawhi and PG. I got to go Brad. And I got to go Trevor Ariza.
That's
I
a
ain't
good
mad at
5.
that. Tell me this, right? This is what I like to know. I don't know if you did it on the 80. I don't know if you did it on your rookie deal or on the 170. But one of them motherfuckers, you got ignorant. I want to hear about when you got ignorant and spent that bag and did some the wildest, craziest shit John Wall did with the bag. This is all.
I got 2. I'm going to tell you.
Yes, we got 2, ladies and gentlemen.
For 2 years.
2 for the price of one.
For 2 years straight, I could be flying from here to Philly. I ain't going to the airport. I need a PJ. I don't feel like going in first class. This
2
is the
years
dumbest
straight,
shit
I don't
ever.
give a fuck if I'm going from Cleveland to
30
Chicago.
minutes away,
Milwaukee to Chicago,
And-
you private.
And I'm in Miami, and I'm at like the Rolls Royce dealership, right? And they got this Rolls Royce limo.
You ain't buy a Rolls Royce.
So I'm like, man, I'm gonna take my kids to school and this shit one day. So I bought it.
So hold up.
Bro, I took the bitch to LA the last All-Star game I was in 2018, and I was like gonna ride around it. It was so much shit you had to do to fix it. Luckily, I got lucky and sold it and got all my money back. I didn't lose nothing on it. But I bought it I'm gonna take my kids to school in this one day.
You just, wait, time out. Fuck the school. You just said you shipped it to LA for All-Star?
They was gonna fix it at Platinum Motorsports. They was gonna fix it up for me.
So, right, but
And I
so
was like, man, I just
you
wanna-
actually shipped it to LA.
to get it fixed.
And
They said it was fixed, and I was like, man, I'm about to cruise out to the Staples Center in this tonight. Yeah, that's some dumbass shit right there.
Yes.
Start, bench, trade. You got to start one, you got to bench one, you got to trade one. Steph, Kyrie, Dame Lillard.
That's rough. Steph,
Who would you
Kyrie,
start, who would you
Dame.
bench, who would you trade?
Damn.
I got to start Kyrie, bench Steph, trade Dame. Kyrie's like, outside of D-Rose, Kyrie, hardest
That's it
person
for
I ever
you,
had to
huh?
guard, bro. Like,
That's it.
Yeah.
he has every shot in the book, and he makes shots like he's 6'6", 6'7". Name something he can't do on the court.
Yeah.
That's real. You ain't lying. Listen.
It's just up to him if he missing.
Yeah.
Left hand floater, right hand floater, post ups, catch and shoot three, all the dribble three, best handle.
I've never seen somebody as small as him finish as well as him without
his
it being
godfather is,
dunked,
though.
without dunking on people.
You know his godfather.
Yeah, Rod. I mean, obviously, but I'm still saying like Rod, he right up
Yeah,
there.
Kyrie's different though. Like he's special, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
I got one more for you. Jason Kidd, Gary Payton, CP3. Who would you start? Who would you bench?
Starting Jason Kidd,
Yeah.
benching Gary Payton, trading CP.
He the only non-champion. Your John Wall Foundation. I've followed you for a long time, seen you do turkey drives, camps, giveaways, backpacks, back to schools, all type of different things. Like, clearly we get that from where we come from and things like that, but what was instilled in you and what drives you to really reach out and reach back and give back to the youth and the community and the less fortunate the way you do? Because the thing that I always like when I see you and other people do it, it's not just about like, oh, I put on a camp, or I do this. Like, you show up full force. You there the whole time. You participating. You with the kids. You all in it. Like, to me, that's more valuable than the money you giving. You being there in person and giving your time. So how did you come to become that type of person, as being really in the community and feet on the ground and being involved yourself personally with your foundation?
Well, it all goes back to my mom. You know what I mean? Like, before I made it to the NBA, even when I made it to the NBA, she still was going to feed the homeless at the Salvation Army, cooking for them, like cooking turkey drives or just donating clothes, just doing anything. And then like at AAU tournament, she still would work the front desk. At AAU tournament, like her son, she don't have to work no more. She's still like, nah, this is what I want to do. Right. I want to volunteer. Like, even on toy drives that we do Christmas and give out bikes and stuff, she's always out there, rain, sleet, snow, she was out there. And just seeing her put that work in and knowing that's how I want to be. And like, I started my foundation in 2011. This is my 13th John Wall Family Foundation weekend I'm about to have this year. Right. August 8th in North Carolina. But man, just knowing where these kids come from, like they don't have an opportunity. Like I want to help like single parents, homes, kids that don't have an opportunity to get nowhere and understand that no matter where you come from, you get a chance if you put your work toward it. First, most important thing is education. I mean, second thing is listen to your parents. And after that, whatever you want to do, give it your all. Don't half-ass into it. But I always tell people they have camps and they be like, all right, your camp start at 10, it's over at 2. What time you want to get there? I'm gonna be there at 9:50. Right. Like the kids want to see you, make them feel like you're a normal person just like they are, because we are normal human beings. No matter what our name is, no matter how much money we are, we still go through the same problems everybody else go through. Yeah. So if I'm supposed to be there from 10 to 2, I'm there from 10 to 2. I'm not gonna show up at 12:30, 1 o'clock. If I committed to it, I'm fully there. That's why I think I love it. Yeah. And I think that's why the kids and the fans adapt to you a lot more, because you're interacting with them. Yeah. Cause they want to feel like they're you, bro. They want to feel like they got a chance.
Yeah.
Now I say all the time, like, cause a lot of people think we make the NBA, like you become some alien or something. Like you really like, bro, same problems y'all got. We got family that get sick. We got family that need or have problems. We put on our pants one leg at a time like everybody else. Ain't nothing different but you watching us on TV play basketball. When we walk off that court, bro, we exactly like you. The only difference between us and you is that we was on TV.
Yeah, but like a lot of people think money solve problems, to give you more problems.
Trust
and you end up losing, and sometimes you end up losing the people close to you because of money, because they get entitled.
Yeah. Back in February, you started Point Game. You know, you in the podcast world now.
Like, and when we gonna be guests? When we gonna get up on there, man?
I love when, you know, some of our favorite players started. Like, I was really interested in you starting because you barely get a chance to hear any of us talk or, you know, listen to our IQ and stuff. But I was really excited for yours because you're one of my favorite players.
Appreciate that.
How was it starting the podcast, and how you feel about it now, just getting your feet wet in it?
It was dope, but I watch all podcasts, you know what I mean, just to get more comfortable with it. At first, you know, you're a little nervous. You don't know if you say the wrong thing, can you really be yourself?
Yeah.
And I just believe I'm being authentic. Always be yourself no matter what. And you know, like you said earlier, politicking a certain nature of the game, you gotta shade yourself to be something else to get by. I just don't want to never have to do that to fit in. But I love it, bro. Like, I can't wait to continue to do it, be on more podcasts. It's dope, it's fun. You get to be in a space where a lot of people be trying to pick your brain. I'm like, I can teach you some shit about basketball you don't know.
Yeah.
And that's all I do is watch basketball all day or be with my kids.
Straight
and
up.
watch action movies.
Bro, I think that was the best thing for us. Like we had no clue what we was getting into when we did this, but it was the point that we get the most satisfaction of, like when it's people like you, like we had KG on, and it was like to hear people say that we made them feel comfortable doing it however, because they saw us, like we didn't come into it with no playbook or this. We was just like, we gonna be us. You know what I'm saying? We not gonna hate on nobody, and we gonna be us. And who we are, we watch all the time. We in it. We know what's going on. And when we come out here, we just, like you said, be authentically us. And to hear different players who, whether they were achieve more than we did or not, to know that they saw what we did and looked at us like, man, y'all made me feel like we could do this shit our way. Like y'all just be keeping it real, like whatever it is, just like. That was dope for us to hear that, like, damn, like us getting out here and kicking it out and just doing it like we not whoever, you know what I'm saying? We not your ex-All-Stars or whatever, but like we somebody that's been in this since 2000, been knowing what's going on, and we know the who's of who, and we got stories and stuff like that. And when we was able to bring it the way we bring it, to hear other people say that they saw that and was inspired and felt like they could do their thing their own way, like, to me, that was enough for me right there to make it feel dope. But, like, we kids in the candy store, like, sitting here hollering at you, like, I can remember your first mixtape. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, before you even got the Kentucky anything, and, like, to be able to sit down and chop it up with dudes, because we fans no matter what. And I don't care how long we played, what we did, what we made, we always fans of this. And to be able to sit down with the best of the best, that's what we live for, to be able to holler at y'all, chop it up, and then bring the content to the people, like, this is all fun. We win every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a good feeling to, you know, do a good interview for our peers and they family appreciate it. Be like, man, I love, man, y'all did an interview with my brother or my cousin and stuff, and man, it was great. Just a good positive interview, because there's so much just other stuff out there that people talk about.
All right, man, that's it. Live on location from New York City, man. We finally got it done with the Kentucky/North Carolina/DC legend, Mr. John Wall in the building,
Whole lot
man.
of speed, man.
Next time y'all see all three of us, we gonna be on his show. So y'all tune in and tap into that, man. We appreciate the homie for pulling up.